Welcome to the Success Sensei podcast for anyone interested in success, happiness, and balance. We'll teach you how to be a black belt at life. And now, your host, former professional fighter, multiple world champion, entrepreneur, and investor, Robert Devane.
Bowing in. This is Robert Devane, the Success Sensei, helping you to win at life one kick and punch at a time. Episode 352. One meal a day for 1.5 years.
It's the Success Sensei podcast main event.
One meal a day for 1.5 years. 22 to 23 hour fasting. 7 days a week. Probably is more like 22-hour fasting as opposed to 23 hours, but we'll give ourselves 1 to 2 hours of an eating window to be fully transparent. This is a weird episode because this episode's about me. Oh God, sharing personal information. You know, I do struggle with it. Maybe that's why the reach of the episodes aren't as far-reaching as I'd like, because I can kind of keep information a little bit general, a little bit generic, because I don't really like giving up my privacy. I don't really like, as much as some people who think they know me may think I'm a little bit more narcissistic than I actually am, I don't really like talking about myself and what I'm up to. And I tend to just use generalizations. I might give the appearance that I'm well able to talk about myself, but I generally don't get into a lot of stuff every day or one-to-one communication with people, and certainly not via this podcast. I find it challenging at times when, you know, I don't feel forced to do it because it was my choice to do this episode, but I feel like forcing myself to do it. And this only came into my head there the other day. I thought, God, I should probably do an episode about this because, you know, we don't acknowledge things that we do, and I certainly didn't acknowledge it. It was only when I thought about it there the other day that 1.5 years, 1.5 years, January of last year, not this year, January of the previous year, in and around the January, give or take a week or two after Christmas, I started eating one meal a day. And mainly eating after I'd gotten the kids to bed, so really kind of only eating at 9 p.m. Now that meal I won't rush my meal. I'm only eating one meal a day, so it probably does last anywhere from 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, so anywhere up to 2 hours after that. I wouldn't eat any later than that. Trying to go to sleep with a stomach that's far too full is very uncomfortable, although I've made that mistake plenty of times. During the day, why did I do this? First of all, did I study it? Did I come up with a plan? Did I review intermittent fasting and go, yes, I am absolutely jumping on this trend? No, I most certainly did not. I didn't study it. I didn't even care if it was right or wrong. It just kind of naturally felt normal for me, and I just kind of decided. I don't know if even I decided initially, but it just kind of made sense to my body, to my lifestyle, to my experience, and to my age bracket, and it's just become normal for me at this stage. There's a lot of questions with this. How can you eat one meal a day every day, 7 days a week? So I don't take a day off. 7 days a week, this is what I do. And I've done it for a year and a half. How does any of this work out? And is it worthwhile for you? Well, during the day, I absolutely drink water. I drink black coffee. And I drink sugar-free energy drinks. Yes, I know. They mightn't be great for you. I absolutely abuse caffeine most days. Yeah. So hands up to that. And I feel absolutely justified in doing so because I'm not eating any food. I try not to let it go too crazy, but hydration is important. So I'm not limiting myself as to what I'm drinking, but I'm not drinking any foodstuffs. It's black coffee or sugar-free energy drinks, or preferably water. But every so often you're going to need a little bit of a caffeine stimulant because you're not consuming food. Oh yeah, I have broken this, by the way. Like, so I'm saying I do it 7 days a week. I do it 7 days a week. I've probably through the year and a half, I don't know, I've broken it 10 times, maybe 10, maybe 20, we'll say. I haven't broken it more than that because anytime I do, I feel wretched. It's like my body is now accustomed to eating once a day. When I eat twice a day, it absolutely throws me off for a couple of days, and my body, it doesn't suit my body. It does. Just at the moment, this is what it's at. So I'm absolutely not following a fad. Even calling it intermittent fasting is cringe. I just simply stopped eating breakfast, stopped eating lunch, and then had a large meal in the evening. There's a lot of history as to how, it got to this. I will talk about the benefits and I will talk about the drawbacks, but there's a lot of reasons and a lot of ways I came to this just natural progression for me. So weighted sports. So being involved in a sport where I was in weight categories. I've done that all my life. Karate, kickboxing, MMA, combat sports. I've always had to get used to making weight. So I'm very accustomed to trying out many different ways of reducing weight, cutting weight, being on weight, walking around at weight. I absolutely can go up weight. But I've always had the confidence that I can come down the weight. Obviously, different stages in your life, it becomes a little bit more difficult. Some things work, some things don't. I've had more experimentation than most, I would imagine, coming from combat sports background and having to make weight. I don't feel I'm missing out on anything. I don't feel deprived at all. If you feel like that, then intermittent fasting might be very hard for you. Another interesting fact, and something I get asked all the time, is supplements. I don't take any supplements of any description. I don't even take a multivitamin. Maybe I should. I just don't ever think about it. And, taking any kind of supplement or multivitamin on an empty stomach doesn't really work. So when it's time to eat, I just eat my food. And, so far, it's for the past year and a half. I felt great. Yeah. I talk about different drawbacks, but it hasn't been the way I'm feeling. And just to add to the complication, a lot of people don't know. A lot of people that know me don't know that I have been a vegetarian for the last 10 plus years. So I've been doing this process as a vegetarian. And I'll get to that in a second, right? So the biggest thing for me was I didn't overcomplicate things. See, I'm not following anyone else's procedure. I'm not following anyone else's diet plan. I'm just letting my own body decide. Every day I have enough energy to exercise hard. I try to exercise hard every day. I've had the energy. In fact, it's easier to exercise on an empty stomach. We're always trying to eliminate as much food out of our body before we exercise on a normal day. So, the whole process is a hell of a lot easier. A lot of studies prove that it's easier to train with an empty stomach than it is half full or a full stomach. One of the drawbacks is, I can crash at about 7 o'clock. If I'm going to eat at 9, I can. If I'm not busy and my mind isn't occupied, I can start crashing closer to when I'm about to eat. I can get a bit cranky as well. I know, imagine admitting that, but I can. So because I know that, I try not to, especially when I've got a wife and kids, and I absolutely don't want to be negatively affecting their lives with my lifestyle choice. It's not even a lifestyle choice. This is just what I do. Weight wise, that's the burning question. What's my weight? I am the lowest walking around weight I've been in years. I could go lower. I could, and I probably will, I'll try to go a little bit lower and reduce my body fat percentage. I absolutely could do that. This whole thing wasn't, a decision. Having a healthier lifestyle was a part of it, but it also just occurred naturally for me. This is just it. What am I eating? Well, for a good portion, I had a good period of time, I ate shite, whatever the hell I wanted. I didn't, this is the beauty about intermittent fasting. This is the beauty about one meal a day. OMAD, OMAD, I've seen it abbreviated as. And that is, that one meal that you're having, it might last an hour to 2 hours, even if you're eating the worst possible foodstuffs, you can't consume as many calories as you can really potentially burn off throughout the day, especially if you're active. So you can eat more of what you like. Now, should you be doing that on a consistent basis? No. And I've made a lot of efforts to clean it up, but you also kind of are a little bit more guilt-free, especially if you're seeing the results. You're a little bit more guilt-free in what you're eating. I'd rather that than some of the strict diets I've done where I never got to eat anything I wanted or liked for long periods of time. I found those a hell of a lot harder. Their cravings were off the charts. With this, the cravings they're not there really. You don't get cravings because you're able to eat what it is that you want to eat. You will automatically, obviously certain things make you feel worse than others, so you will inevitably end up trying and once you've plateaued with your weight and your body fat percentage, you will automatically end up wanting to clean up your diet yourself. With the size of the meals, let's talk about portion size. I absolutely didn't limit my portion size. So I could essentially be eating the size of 2 meals in the one meal. I could arguably be eating 3 meals in one meal. One of the drawbacks is I don't really get full. That's absolutely something I've noticed. I imagine it's chemical. I also imagine it's to do with, stomach capacity because I'm only eating once. And you will overeat, but again, with that overeating, you generally, if you're active, you can't consume more calories than you burn off throughout the day. I have made the decision as well, because I'm only eating once a day. I've always wanted to, I've been a vegetarian a long time, always wanted to be vegan for many different reasons. And now I find it easier because I only have to make the choices for one meal. So now, in the last few weeks, I am fully vegan. I'm absolutely loving it. Again, don't feel any cravings and don't feel deprived in any shape or form at all. I want to eat what I want, and I want to eat as much as I want. So it absolutely fits in there for me and my lifestyle. I've always said that the food industry is a business. I never wanted to be involved in the food industry as a business because I think everybody is so complicated. If we were all completely honest, we all have strange issues with food. Everybody. I haven't met anybody who hasn't got some type of a hang up or some type of we eat for emotional reasons. We eat for many different reasons. We all have strange relationship with food. It's one of the many reasons why I never wanted to have a food business or work in the food industry, because I just think it's so tough. I do feel that we aren't, designed to graze all day long on food that we also were never meant to be eating. And even if you're just eating that food that we weren't meant to be eating once a day, there's a lot less of a negative effect because it's just once a day. It's not several meals or 3 meals throughout a day. I've already said the training on empty feels a little bit easier. It's a little bit better. I do think that this kind of a lifestyle can suit the older person. I don't know whether it mainly suits older males. I'm not sure, but as an older, slightly older male, I can only speak for myself. And I do think that it can suit someone like me with who maybe metabolism isn't as fast as it used to be, or maybe they have a little bit of stubborn weight. And if you're going to try intermittent fasting, if you're going to try one meal a day, just don't overcomplicate things. Don't follow fads, popular diets. Avoid fads, avoid popular diets. Let your own body decide. Figure it out for yourself. And let me know what you think. Do you have you been fasting at all? Do you follow any kind of fasting? It's pretty much there in every culture. There's Ramadan, I get off the top of my head. Then we have Lent here in Ireland. Lent is a big part of Irish culture, Catholic religion. I'm sure it's in every other culture as well, some type of fasting. So do you fast? Have you fasted? Do you follow what diet is working for you at the moment? What isn't working for you? Let me know. Message me anytime. Thank you for listening. I'm Robert Devane, the Success Sensei. Life is a fight you can enjoy and win. Bowing out.
This has been the Success Sensei, fighting the winning fight. So add us, subscribe, like, and comment. Keep those hands up and keep moving forward.